Are you sure this the right one? Because I don't see no access in anywhere, and it's got powered by StreamYard. So is it that the StreamYard bill was due or something, and it took everything out? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Are
I
we
was finna say,
like
ain't nobody finna play with YouTube.
yeah,
Hey, Scorpio mama. You said what?
I was asking you if we were live now, but yeah, we are live. I had no idea we were live. Well, I see it on the screen, but
I hit
but
when you came up, we was live. You wasn't saying nothing, was you?
yes, I was. I was talking to you, but you couldn't hear me.
What was you saying?
I was asking you what was the music and could you hear me, and you wasn't saying nothing.
Oh, I told you the yeah, we gonna have to come back because we need to have a conversation.
We don't have to have a conversation. I know what you told me, but I'm just saying you could not hear me is all I'm saying.
No, because the you couldn't see that I got dropped from the stage.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that you were dropped.
Um, you didn't say hi to Scorpio Mama and I am Coco.
Well, I didn't know if they could hear me or not because once again, I could not hear you.
Oh, well, no, you couldn't hear me because I got dropped.
Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing today? This is just an impromptu live. I don't know why Vaughn decided to have a personal conversation with me while we're live.
You started it. You you could have texted me
I did text you. You didn't answer.
because I was trying to get back on the stage.
Well, don't say I can't. I should have did something when I did do it.
Lord, I'm hollering.
But anyway, hey everybody, how y'all doing?
Hey, it's only
Hey,
Scorpio Mama and I
hey,
don't know who I
I
am
am
Coco
Coco.
is.
That's one of my subscribers. Hey, I am Coco. Hey,
Hi,
Scorpio
Coco,
Mama.
honey.
Yes, yeah, Coco. Yeah, this how we be acting backstage, guys. This how we be talking to each other. So yeah, I know it's kind of funny, but this is what we do. We go back and forth and forth and back. And you have to
Mm-mm.
when you have people like Vaughn that you have to communicate with.
Don't blame this one on me. This one on you. Mm-mm. Okay.
Hey, Soul
I knew
Session.
what I was doing.
Hey,
Hey, Miss
Soul
Wanda.
Session. Happy Friday, everybody. We just thought we'd come on today since we haven't been on in what 3 weeks because this been happening and that been happening. As you guys know, I was sick 1 week. Vaughn was sick 1 week, and we had some unforeseen things come up. So we just thought we'd try to check in with everybody, just let you guys know we still have the channel and it's still going strong. It's just that we're trying to get back on track.
Y'all, she over here telling tall tales. I was not sick. It was her. Okay? It wasn't me.
You were sick. You were sick before
No.
I was.
Uh-uh. But I was fine. I was sick after Wednesday came. Remember? Remember?
Okay, nevertheless, she still was sick, y'all. Whether it was before Wednesday or after Wednesday, she still been sick like I've been sick. I don't know why she don't want to own up to that, but whatever. We'll
Because it's
digress from
not
that
true.
also.
Wait, okay. I shared us out on my other channel. Because I don't think everybody gonna get their notifications. I like how she spelled that Coco. That's kind of how Coco spell it on uh not Escape, but the other one. SWV. SWV.
Okay.
Wait, I don't like how my bubble ain't bubbling. Okay, there it go. It's bubbling. Wait, let me do this real quick. Okay. Can y'all hear me now?
We heard you the first time.
I'm trying to wait for people to come in. What we gonna talk about?
Well, you don't want to do this impromptu live, so you go for it. Start
Lies,
talking.
y'all. Y'all. She texted me.
That's because she brought
We
it
were
up.
supposed to do
She
this
brought
on
it up.
Wednesday. We were supposed to do this on the Wednesday. You, okay? You fell sick. Remember? See? And then you said, Vaughn, you still want to do the live? I'm like, we supposed to do this on Wednesday. You know, how many Wednesdays ago?
Now you said let's just do an impromptu live, and I was like, okay. And you said that
Yeah,
Wednesday, so I think you getting your
exactly.
I think you getting your days mixed up. So then I didn't hear from you yesterday, so I texted
Coco
you
was
today
taken.
and asked you were we still going
Exactly.
live. So uh, quit trying to act
So
like
who
quit
wanted
trying
to
to
do
act
this?
like it wasn't you.
If you text
But
me,
never,
it was
but
you.
nevertheless, I'm just glad that my voice is back, and I'm glad that I'm able to talk now, and hopefully I've gotten over this horrible cold that I had going on, and I don't know if it was a cold or C19 or bronchitis, but it felt like it was all in one. And so now
Mm.
it's down to now it's affecting my sinuses. So hopefully it's trying to exit out. Yeah, Coco, I'm glad I'm better too because you guys know that was killing me not being able to talk because I love to talk. And
Yeah,
so
she loved to hear her beautiful voice, y'all. She
exactly,
loves to. Okay.
exactly. And so now I think I'm back, and now I'm hopefully I'm able to get back on track. And we definitely going to try to do a show on Wednesday. And so hopefully we can go back to our normal scheduled program. If nothing else unforeseen happens, we can get back on track and get the show back on track because I actually miss you guys and I actually miss doing the show because I really do like the Waiting to Excel channel.
Scorpio mama say you need black seed oil.
Well, I have to be careful of the things that I take. I know a lot of people have been making a lot of recommendations for me, but I do have some underlying health issues that may or may not prevent me from taking different over the counter regimens. And so, in order for me to take something different, I actually have to get permission from my doctor um, to make sure that it's safe for me to take different things because it's a lot of over the counter medications I just can't take,
She having
unfortunately.
a baby, y'all.
Well, we all know that's a lie. So I told y'all what my age is, and I'm not Sarah's cousin or anybody. So we already know that's not true.
Not Sarah's cousin. But what does black seed oil do exactly?
I don't know. I've somebody else had recommended that if it wasn't Scorpio in another chat. So I really don't know what black seed oil does for you. Maybe she can put that in the chat and let us know. And
Mm.
so how you guys been doing and what's been going on? Um, Although I was sick, I was kind of in the YouTube streets, and then I kind of wasn't. So I really don't even know what's all been going on in the YouTube streets, but I have been seeing what's been going on in America.
Okay.
Okay, and so it's a lot of stuff going on that I'm just not liking right now. Mainly freedom of speech. I don't know if you guys
Mm.
saw this or not, but Jimmy Kimmel got taken off of the air because of Agent Orange, and I don't like that because if he's going to take or you like that story that Nestos had, I Am Coco. We're gonna do some more great interviews also, and it was an inspiring story. But as far as Jimmy Kimmel go, I don't like the fact that his network is falling in line with Agent Orange because at the end of the day, um, if they taking Jimmy Kimmel off air, we know what's next. And that means social media is going to be next, in my opinion. If you
Mm.
shut one person up, then that means he's the type of person you can't just give him an inch. He's definitely going to try to take a mile. And so once he get through with the TV networks, then I think he's going to come after the social media sites. And I already seen something on Bloomberg's news about them saying that they want to regulate the social media sites. So I know those are next. And so at the end of the day, um, it's just really kind of taking our freedom of speech away from us. Our First Amendment, it looked like this guy's trying to chop away any type of rights that we have in America. And I don't know why people are sitting back and allowing this stuff to happen. Because at the end of the day, I don't really feel like people realize that we really are in a constitutional crisis at this point. And
Mm.
so I guess it's gonna have to hit home for everybody, and it's gonna have to hit their pocketbooks pretty hard. I'm gonna forecast the first of the year. By the time the first of the year hit, I think that's when it's gonna hit everybody else, and it may be a little bit too little, too late by that
Mhm.
time for the American public to really wake up to really realize what's really going on. So,
You
so
think so?
yeah, I think so. I think, we always a dollar late, a day late, and a dollar short in America. So I think that's what's gonna happen. And
I
so,
don't think
Coco's,
so. I think a lot of people getting the message loud and clear.
you think
Very
so?
loud.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, with this Charlie Kirk thing going on, it's opening up a lot of eyes, and we're seeing the backlash that they're having behind it. And really, at the end of the day, Charlie Kirk was not a political figure. He
Hmm.
was like a consultant, and he helped get Agent Orange in office, but he don't hold any office. So I don't understand why everybody is going above and beyond the call of duty for this guy. Actually saw it in the news yesterday that Congress is thinking about having a damn Charlie Kirk Day. How y'all feel about
Wait,
that?
what? Huh?
Yeah,
What?
like he Martin Luther King or somebody. Yes, child, they thinking about giving him a whole day. So I guess it's gonna be a national holiday at this point.
Well, how I really feel about it is, I don't believe that he should have a day. Okay, this is taking it a little too far. Okay, all right, because like you said, it ain't like he, it's Dr. King out here. He definitely wasn't. Well, he's a martyr now. They did pop the poor baby off and made him this big old thing. But I don't think that there should be a day. I'm against that because that's just doing a lot. But how I really feel about it is, it's sad. And do I think, but all the stuff that they doing, like it's like they're making it, a thing. But I feel they're making it a thing to cause more division amongst us people, get everybody arguing and fussing and fighting. And it's like, I'm just not with that. I don't agree with none of that. They really should just chill out. But I feel like, it's all a part of the big plan. She said, why was his head so big? I think that's part of the bigger plan, what they have, to get war started in the United States of America. Like have American against American, conservative against conservative, liberal against, everybody just be at it. What?
Okay, so look at the private chat. I just sent you something so you can put it on a banner so we can run this across the screen at least since none of our stuff is downloaded in the system. I think they're trying to make a big deal out of it. I wholeheartedly agree with you. I feel like they want a reason. Um, Agent Orange want a reason to declare martial law. Okay, and so they're trying to do they're trying to do anything they can to rattle the public and mainly us. They really want us to spill out in the streets, and I'm glad that we're not taking the bait.
Oh,
Okay,
I was sure gonna say, this is, I feel like all melanated folks, okay, this is not a us problem. This is a them problem. This ain't got nothing to do with us, okay? This got
right.
something to do with them. This was white on white crime, okay? This is an issue that has nothing to do with us, okay? Honestly, I feel like we should just let them go ahead and have their day.
Yeah.
Look, let me pull back. Look, I don't even care. Y'all want to have y'all day, okay? Because we ain't got to celebrate. We
Mhm.
ain't got to be involved. Let them do what they want to do, okay?
And take your
Because
and take your free day off and get paid like they do
right,
on June 19th. Go
right,
ahead,
right,
go ahead and have a whole barbecue.
right. Like let them do them. We ain't got nothing to do with this.
Now, I don't agree with Louis Farrakhan on a lot of things, right? But I do agree with him because Louis Farrakhan just made a video a couple days ago and said
Oh, he
exactly
did.
what you said. Yes, ma'am. He said this don't have nothing to do with us.
I know that's right, honey.
Let
Oof.
them fight each other, and we just sit back with our popcorn and whatever drink we want to eat, drink with our popcorn, and just sit back and watch them.
You know that's my baby daddy, right? So I
Uh,
agree with anything he say, child.
Well,
Anything.
I don't, but I do agree with that, Louis Farrakhan. That's one thing I agree with him with. To let them just do what they do, and we just sit back and watch them because they're gonna eat each other up, and that's basically and even with the guy getting shot. That's exactly what happened. It was one of them that shot their own, although they're trying to blame everybody else in the world and trying to come down hard on the HBCUs, trying to pull us in it. Once again, they still trying to pull us in it, but it ain't got nothing to do with us. So they running everything, so we're gonna just let them run it however they want to run it. Only thing I advise us to do is to save every coin that we can save. Go buy everything you can buy while you can, while it's on the shelves. Because I feel like America finna get real scarce in just a minute with us not having no trade agreements with anybody. With him just he basically kind of isolating America from other countries. And so that means whatever you're gonna buy for Christmas, and just I just like we were in the C-19 era. I advise everybody to stock back up like we were in the C-19 era because I think things are gonna get scarce pretty soon, and people not seeing it
Mm-mm.
coming. I think that's what's ahead to come. You guys know I keep up with the news all the time, and so the ports are not as full as they used to be because we don't have a lot of trade going on with other countries anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why come I say, whatever you're gonna buy your children or grandchildren or nieces or nephews for Christmas, whatever shopping you planning on doing, go ahead and
Mm-hmm.
do that. And one more thing, Amazon said they leaving the country. So if Amazon leave the country
Oh,
and
wait a minute.
yeah, Amazon said they leaving because of the tariffs and because of the taxes. So that means for Amazon, the prices are gonna spike with them too. So if you want something from Amazon, I wholeheartedly advise you to go ahead and take advantage of whatever deals Amazon have right now, because I feel like Amazon, once they leave, they're going to have to hike their prices up because they're going to be under the tariffs that he's implementing to the other countries. I don't know where they're going, Coco. I don't know which country they're going to. But you can look it up though. If you look it up, it'll tell you that Jeff Bezos made an announcement last week saying that Amazon was leaving the United States. I'm not saying that they're
Hey,
not going to sell any products. And hey, Alice, thanks for joining us. Um, it's
hey,
not
Miss Alice.
it's not that we're not going to be able to shop with Amazon. Everything is just probably going to be 2 or 3 times higher than what it was.
2 or 3 times higher. Okay, look. All
Yeah,
right,
well,
I'm
that's
finna
why
go.
I'm advising everybody gotta go do y'all shopping now before Amazon leave, before everything. Trust me,
Child.
at the beginning of the year, you guys, next year, I think we're gonna be in for a rude awakening. And we think we crying about these
Mm.
prices now. We really gonna be crying next year. Watch and see. We're gonna be crying, and I don't think the shelves are gonna be stocked as far as food and all other necessities. I think we're gonna have a scarcity like we did at C19.
Well, I know the Lord provides, and we gonna be a okay. And help is on the way. Help is on the way.
Yeah, well, the children of Israel had to go through 40 days and 40 nights. So I'm gonna just put that
Mm-mm,
out
I
there.
ain't claiming
So,
that.
well, you
I
don't
ain't,
have to
I am
claim it
not
if you don't
claiming
want
that.
to, but
Mm-mm.
I just, there's a
Let me
flip.
tell you something.
There's a flip side of
When
that also.
when COVID came, oh my goodness, I was so worried. And I know a lot of, like, for example, I was breastfeeding. No, I wasn't breastfeeding around that time. And my I was worried because they was talking about, milk not being on the shelves, and formula and stuff wouldn't be on the shelves, and it was, scarce, and this, that, and the other.
Hmm.
Even though during that time we were confined, in the house, and I was worried about my husband because he had to work and be out in the public and stuff. And this was before the shot came. This was like in the very beginning. None of us got sick. Nobody in my family got sick. And we kept milk, baby milk, and food. And I was not even, I can honestly say, during that time, I'm going to say I just knew a little something about Jesus. Okay. And none of us got sick and started getting COVID until after COVID, like the big initial boom bang, until like afterward. And we never had, like I said, we had formula, baby water. Like it was, a lot of people was going through, but I can honestly say, we were okay. And in the beginning of this year, I was worried about, Trump and he's, he's taking this away, taking that away. And I'm like, look, okay, I'm just gonna pray because Trump is not finna, have me over here worried and going crazy. And even though I know he doing a whole lot of stuff, and trust me when I say I know, people, be going through it. But I just feel like during this time, okay, this is the perfect time, to keep some faith and some prayer. All right. Find you a Bible, a church, you know, do you, because, I do feel that things are about to change, but I feel like, you just keep the faith and everything will be, all right. Because, dude been doing a whole lot. Hey, Senna. Hey,
Well,
Senna
I'm
girl.
looking it up on Chat GPT right now. And so they said that was a conspiracy theory, what I saw on the news, as far as it's leaving, but they're considering changes for internally about the terrorists. And let's see what else they're gonna do. They're gonna get rid
Oh,
of. They're
okay.
gonna,
I'm gonna call him dude. I'm gonna call him dude.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah.
And don't call his
And
name.
C19, so the video won't get flagged.
Oh,
Uh,
C19.
yeah,
Okay, dude.
yeah.
All right.
You
So
gotta, yeah. It's been a minute
can we
since you've been
call
on,
can we
but it's
call CK Calvin Klein then for the
yeah,
time being?
yeah. So it's saying that Amazon is going to stop offering prep and item labeling services to the United States, and they say that they have multiple ongoing efforts expanding delivery network and improving working conditions. That was the last statement that they made last week.
Mm,
So
yeah.
we'll we'll see we'll see what happens. So hey, Santa.
She said she preferred Calvin Klein. I'm hollering. Well, is you on the phone?
Mm-mm. I just
I was gonna
denied the
say that
call.
wasn't my phone.
No, let me turn my phone off.
Hell, brilliant.
Cause even if
Hello,
you
my
have it on do
baby.
not disturb, they'll call if they call twice, it still
It'll go
comes through.
through.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just turn it off. I don't need to talk to anybody right now. Hey, a brilliant. And so I still feel like even though that was a conspiracy theory, and that's the whole thing about everything too. You got to research everything. Yeah, we will see Coco. You got to research and double check and triple check everything. Anything that comes out of the administration, anything that comes over the news, anything that comes over social media or whatever. That's the one thing I don't like about us right now. You don't know what's true and what's not true. Because even the cable news networks, sometimes they say things that's not true. So, especially Ox News, we know they're big time
Liars.
non-truth tellers. Yeah, they
Oh,
got
okay. We
sued.
gonna call them that.
Yeah, non-truth tellers.
We ain't gonna
You
call them
know they
troublemakers.
they got sued for $787 million for spewing lies and disinformation. So at this point, with Agent
And they
Orange,
still in business,
and yeah, and they still spilling lies,
child.
untold truths. They're still not speaking. They're still not telling truths, and so now I'm gonna just advise everybody to just fact check everything. You have to fact check everything that you hear now. You don't know what's true and what's not true. Yeah, I've been
Mm-mm.
waiting on them to leave for a while, Coco, and I don't know how. Well, I know how they get their license, but I just don't know why somebody didn't shut them down a long time ago. I know why Obama didn't do
Well,
it because they
because
stayed on him.
they, yeah, they keep up confusion. Why would they why would they shut down one of their sources of confusion? Have the people, because some people watch the news all day and all night, and I don't know how they do it. Cause oof, I can't.
Well,
It
I
be
used
too
to be
much
one of
going on
those
for me.
people. It's very easy when you want to know what's going on. That's what you do.
But
I was watching it so
it's
much. My brother had to tell me, "Hey, the news is not a TV show."
like for real though, because it's depressing. And then they report like in the morning news, they report also at night, what happened throughout the day, but then they go over what happened in the morning again. Now,
Mhm.
my grandmother, she would tell me, watch the news to check the weather, before the phones and stuff was able to tell us the weather. So that's how I would keep up with the weather. But then, I try to watch it and it's like this person, like it's like when you turn on the news, you know, people killing each other, people
Unaliving
coming up
each
in
other.
dumpsters, yeah, unaliving, all of that. Okay, they be doing that, whatever, right? And it's
Hmm.
like that's just too much. That's too much. It's too much.
It's very
However,
depressing if you watch it all day. You're absolutely right about that.
yeah, that's what I don't understand how somebody could just sit there. Hey, how was you doing it? How was you doing that?
Well, I was doing it because I just like to be informed, and it wasn't really nothing on TV. And at the end of the day, it was right when I stopped working, so I wasn't beholden to any series or sitcoms or anything, and I didn't
Hmm.
know anything about what was on the real TV because by the time I got off work, after I cooked dinner, took a shower, I was getting ready for the next day. So, I was in bed by 10 o'clock every night. So I didn't really have time to watch TV like that.
Mm.
I would catch some of the series like, The Godfather of Harlem, or, series like that. I would kind of, watch some of those. But as far as regular TV or what have you, I really didn't know what was coming on. And since I didn't get to watch the news all day, then I would watch it, in the evening sometimes when I would come home. And when I stopped working, it really Obama is the reason why I started watching the news, because I just wanted to keep up with him. And
Mhm.
once Obama came in office, they was just Ox News was just on him so hard, and so I was just watching,
I
the
knew this
things that was
bitch was
going on in
coming.
his administration. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
But so that's why come out. That's how I got hooked on watching the news every day.
Mhm.
Hmm. So that's how I started watching the news every day and all day. And then once he left office, I just kept watching it.
Mm. I really got into CNN when dude got in office. I remember the day he got elected or
Hmm.
whatever.
The first time.
And yeah, the first time I was doing
Hmm.
Jenny hair, and
Yeah.
girl, you couldn't tell me the world wasn't finna end. I was in there like we finna all die. I can't.
Unalive. Go. Can
Uh,
you
we can't say
what
died. We
I
can't
mean,
say died.
you act like you haven't been on YouTube before, unless you don't want this
Well,
video to go through, or you want it to be
all I'm
struck.
saying,
Hey,
look, all I
SBK.
got to say is, okay, freedom of speech. Okay, y'all is
Well, we
not
got
gonna take my freedom away from me. All right, I don't care. Hold on, sis, I got a rant to go on. Look, okay, all
it
right,
ain't it
as
ain't no
long as I
y'all.
am
It ain't no
living
y'all. It's
peaceably.
Google. It's Google, not
That's
y'all.
who I'm talking to, y'all.
Oh,
You too,
okay.
because you over here acting like Google best friend. So
Well, I'm
therefore,
just trying to keep. I'm
okay,
just trying to keep the video in the algorithm so people can watch it later on.
fine. I thought we were all going to be unalive. That don't even flow out right. Okay, I'm sick of this. I gotta censor myself all the time. Okay, one-liners are the best. Okay, and unalive is too many words. No, it's too many syllables. Okay, it's too many syllables. All right, it's just too many.
Well,
Way too
I
many.
understand all of that, and you can say what you want to say, but just know everybody
Ugh.
ain't gonna get to see it. That's all. So
Okay. Well, I want everybody to see it, so I'm gonna chill out. All right. I
well
thought we were
then,
all gonna be unalive, y'all. Hey,
yeah.
SBK. All right. You're just so happy to see everybody today, ain't you?
Well, no, it's not that. Who you talking about, SBK or me?
No, SBK.
Oh, okay.
You know what? Oh, my
Hey,
Father God in heaven.
oh my God, take that out, y'all. Take this
I'm doing
person
it.
out.
I'm doing it. Let me say this
How
too.
did
Let
we
me let
get
me
all? How did we get all these trolls in this new channel? This is crazy.
Because somebody is over there sitting in the corner mad, banging their head up against the wall because ain't nobody paying them no damn attention. And maybe, okay, just maybe, if you get off your ass and stop trolling, okay, you will have more fun in life. All right. Instead of sitting over in the dark corner, want somebody to be mad with you. Don't nobody care. Okay. That's why you over there going through what you're going through because you're miserable. I'm sick of y'all. All right, it's too much going on in the world. We over here talking about Calvin Klein, okay, Agent Orange, okay, and how he gonna take all the food and the water from us and our freedom of speech. Go troll him about that, okay? Go do that.
Yeah, if
All right,
you want something to complain about. Complain about what's going on,
okay.
and
Be
complain
mad
about
about that,
complain about our freedom of speech being taken away,
okay?
and how we not gonna be able to laugh on late night TV because they getting rid of all the late night TV hosts. And
For real.
I'm pretty sure Jimmy Fallon and Jon Stewart is gonna be next in line, because at the end
Who?
of the day, Jimmy Fallon, he's on ABC,
Oh
and Jon
yeah.
Stewart is on what is it, The Daily Show. And so oh, we saw the troll center. Don't worry. It's glad it's a good thing that you
It's
didn't
it's
see it.
good.
It's a
Yeah.
good thing that you didn't see it, because we don't need one sour puss ruining your whole day. Okay.
Okay.
And so at the end of the day, yeah, Jimmy Fallon and Jon Stewart, I have a feeling that they're going to be next. But you know what? I wish everybody would do anytime
What?
that they try to shut somebody up or they're trying to take away their livelihood, I wish all these late night hosts would like bring their monies together because they make a lot of money at night, right? I'm pretty sure I don't know for sure, but I know they make anywhere from 10 to 20 million dollars a year. So and they've been on the
Mm.
air for years. So they're all billionaires at this point, in my opinion. At least millionaires that we know of. And so what they need to do is form their own channel, form their own network. And that way they don't have to worry about anybody trying to shut them down. Do it yourself, come up with your own station. And I guarantee you people, if they got a big following. So I'm pretty sure the public will support them, especially with what's going on at this point. But yeah, I want them to pull a Tyler Perry and go get your own network.
I
That's the
I
answer to
think I
all of
like that
this.
idea.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, SBK. Yeah, their names have been brought up. I seen that on social media. I seen that on the news clips. But once again, SBK, like I was saying, I don't know if you were in the bushes listening or not. Now you have to fact check everything because I just heard about Amazon was leaving the country. Just fact checked it, and they're not leaving. And so that's the whole, and that's what's so crazy about today. You really can't believe anything that you hear unless you fact check it, and you better hope that the AI fact checkers, you better hope that they're right because when Elon Musk um launched his, what is it called, Grouch, or what is his thing called, Grover, or whatever his AI tool is, he tried to manipulate that and tried to make it like right wing instead of just standard general information. And so that's what we have to be careful of now.
Hmm. Hold on, sis. I'm doing something to make this stop. Hold on.
And so that's really what I want to happen. I want everybody to band together and get their own networks, and that way they don't have to be under the guise of anybody. And at the end of the day, all they're doing, in my opinion, is all they're doing is just going to make everybody just kind of venture off to streaming, because I don't think streaming is under the same guise as regular TV networks are, right? And even the TV networks like Nexstar and other people that aren't Paramount and all of them, they're underneath the FCC license under ABC, NBC, and CBS. And so I think it's a way. Um, hey mods, can y'all take this haha person out? Can y'all eliminate this person here? Thank you. So look like you guys gonna have to really watch the chat because we got a lot of trolls coming up in here for whatever reason, like Vaughn
Oh, it's finna
said.
stop. Hold on.
Yeah. And
It's finna stop.
send a my cash app, it has a space between the last I said, so I put it in there the way that it is. You have to put a space with the last I said on there. um but yeah, I don't know why I don't have access to remove. Oh, okay, you made me a mod. And let me look at this under my phone so I can just
No, some of
take
us
these out.
already have these people blocked, so don't. They probably can't see them, but
Oh, okay.
they didn't made their name different or
Mm-hmm.
stuff or whatever. Because
Mm-hmm.
people ain't got nothing but time on their hands.
Yeah, child, I see.
Misery love company.
I see that. Big time. But yeah, so yeah, that's what I want everybody to do, because like I said, streaming is the way anyway, because a lot of these cable companies are losing money um, just through streaming services. And so there's a way for them to launch their own networks without having to actually get FCC licenses. And that's what they need to do. And that way they'll take two birds out with one stone at one time, because these networks that's getting rid of the comedians, they're going to hurt. Okay, it's going to hurt their pocketbook also, because if they lose their audience, then they're not going to make any money. And if everybody, do the streaming, then they could actually make probably more money than they was making on TV, because these social media sites are really paying people to have followings. And so I think the show can be just as big on social media as it is on regular TV. And that's just my opinion of it. I don't see why they have to have them. And really, TV is becoming extinct anyway. A lot of people don't even watch regular programming TV. So I feel like that they can get their own networks through through the streaming apps. That's what I feel like can happen. Yeah, Senator, they're definitely gonna ruin their bottom line. And we know what happens in
Okay.
America. We know what makes America. Money make America go around. Americans love money. And so, like I said, if you start hitting all of these corporations in their pocketbooks, then they'll change their tune. Just like Target. Target got rid of all the DEI, and and Target have lost millions of dollars, just because they trying to ride on Agent Orange train. Well, it's because I don't think the comedians are going to apologize to this administration or the networks. And now even the networks are saying that they want to try to call Jimmy Kimmel back. And I hope he don't, as long as he apologize. Now I saw that on Bloomberg News yesterday also. Are you still?
Wait, so they said he could come back as long as he apologized. Apologize for what?
I know he didn't say nothing. And
Honestly, I thought the joke was actually right on time because for dude to be grieving, he what he was out there talking about what he say? He said did he showed the clip of dude out there talking about, they was making a new ballroom,
Mhm.
and it was like yeah, nah.
Well, they
Okay.
asked him how did he feel about Charlie Kirk being unalived, and he said, "Hey, it's a tragedy. It's a tragedy." But
Yeah.
did you see the ballroom? He started talking
Yeah,
about the
yeah,
ballroom.
yeah.
So Jimmy
I,
Kimmel was saying, you see how much he care about the tragedy that happened."
yeah. That's why I say I thought it was perfect. I ain't see nothing wrong with it because it was the truth. You wasn't lying. That man don't care because he
To
set him up.
to me, he didn't say nothing that was so heinous. That Brian Kilmeade on Fox News, he said that all the homeless people should be unalived, or um, yeah, if you're disabled or homeless, then you should be unalived if you don't want to get no help. Now they said, but he keeping his job. Now he came back the next day and tried to redact it and try to apologize, but that's
hmm
way worse than what Jimmy Kimmel said at the end of the day.
But see,
I'll be back.
he guilty. Okay, he guilty. So of course he don't want nobody. He don't want no attention drawn to the fact that he really don't care. That's all it is. If they set the presidents and freedom of speech, they will get away with more. That was a sorry apology. Well, if they set the pres, hey Amanda, okay, you listening? Well, I'm gonna say this, okay? We should be able to say whatever we want to say. Now, I don't mean it like that, y'all. I feel like as long as you're not saying anything, um, that like riles people up, against another person, place, or thing, I feel like we should be good. I'm a strong believer in free will, okay, and I'm definitely a believer in freedom of speech. But I feel like as long as you're not inciting violence against others, like I said, places or things, you should be all right. You know what I'm saying? You should be all right. But they just trying to make it even harder for us to live peaceably amongst each other. Okay? They want everybody to be mad and be fighting and arguing.
Mhm.
You know, don't get me wrong. Some people's opinions are just dumb, okay, ignorant and a little stupid. But other than that, so what?
But
Some
that's what
okay.
America is about. Everybody should have their own opinion. And you're not gonna agree. Everybody is not gonna agree with everybody. That's just how that's how life is. You don't even agree with your own family members. What make you think you're gonna agree with the public? And so at the end of the day, that's what the First Amendment is all about. It's about freedom of speech. And yeah, you should be able to say what you want as long as you're not making any terroristic threats or trying
SBK,
to.
why you gotta come at my brother like that? I mean, okay, he was somebody. He was a husband. He was a father. Okay, he was a son. I mean, dang, y'all just
But I'm
color
just
people.
saying, but let me just finish up though. I
Go
just feel
ahead.
like everybody should be able to say whatever they want to say. Even SBK, he should be able to say whatever he feel because he has that right and he has his own opinion. And by the way, bro, I agree with you on that.
Oh, of
But
course you agree with him. Just because he said something you like. And, so,
well, I
not
mean,
no, 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 no.
But what I'm
No, let's
saying
tell the
is,
truth.
everybody still should have their own opinion. I don't agree with nobody taking anybody out because of their opinion, but I do feel like everybody should be able to say whatever they want to say as long as they're not trying to spew hate and
Right,
they're not trying to have dissension and they're not trying to start any overthrow of the government because certain speech is censored. But as far as a
right,
general opinion, then don't holler and scream at SBK because he feel that way. You feel the way that you feel, and he should be able to feel the way that he feel, and I should feel the way that I feel. But that doesn't mean that we don't have to, that we can't all get along with each other, or that we should, hate on each other. And that's what freedom of speech is. And so
right.
everybody is entitled to their own opinion, whether you agree with it or not. And you even have Tucker Carlson coming down on this administration about that, and even Megan Kelly, and they're MAGA to their hearts. Tucker Carlson is one of the persons that kind of helped start this fight with everybody. And so at the end of the day, they don't agree with censoring people's speech. They just don't agree with that.
I mean, some things are better left unsaid. I ain't gonna lie, okay? Because it's a whole lot of stuff I be wanting to say that I don't say. But everybody wasn't raised the same, okay? And when I do say things I don't, shouldn't be saying, there's consequences.
Right.
However, I dropped the link for you, SBK. However, yeah, I'm strongly against, popping folks because they, you know, get to saying things people don't like.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and Candace Owens also, yeah. And so at the end of the day, like I said, nobody should be censored. People should be able to say what they want to say. You should have your opinion, and I should be able to have my opinion. But we all should still be able to live in peace and harmony because that's really the fabric of America, and that's really what America is about. Supposed to be anyway. But slowly but surely, a lot of our rights are being chipped away at this point. And so I just want everybody to be able to understand, whether you realize it or not. Once again, we are in a constitutional crisis, and people are slowly but surely beginning to see that. You see all of these farmers; they're crying, and they're upset because they're losing their farms. People are losing their jobs, and over 300,000 Black women have lost their jobs since this administration has started. And so you can see where the focus is. They're trying to erase Black history. They're trying to take all the Black history out of the museums, out of the Smithsonian. This guy's doing everything he can, in my opinion. He's doing everything that he can to try to pull everybody out in these streets, and don't even realize a lot of Black people don't even care about none of that. All Black people care about is having a barbecue. We really just kind of living our lives. We're not caring about what's going on in America at this point. yeah, we have our eye on it, but once again, like Vaughn said, this ain't got nothing to do with us. This is y'all fight, not ours. Y'all started it, so y'all need to end it. Y'all put him in office, and so now y'all need to deal with what y'all put in office. Hey, SBK.
Hey, ladies, how you doing?
Yo,
Yo, what it do?
Yeah, Alice, we living our black lives, doing our black things, and going to our black jobs, the ones that still have them.
I'm hollering.
Exactly. I just thank y'all for dropping the link. I want to say this here, and I'll drop down. Um, I'm very passionate about this. I'm very passionate about our people. Um, I don't think I don't think that our people are taking these days and times serious enough. Um, I was talking to my daughter on the way home from school today. Um, we're we don't have anything to do with any of this that happened to Mr. Kurt. Nothing. But they're on the brink of, and I'm just going of a race war because we don't have anything to do with this. What happened to that man? But people are trying to make it a race war, and so
Mm-hmm.
this man here, and I know I don't know if you're trolling or not, Bonds, but I know you said that's your boy or whatever, but I don't know if you're trolling or kidding. But that man did not have any love for black women at all. You know, he didn't care for black women at all. Especially he felt like y'all all black women did not have the mental capacity to do what they needed to do as far as uh, running anything. And so and these are his
Matter of factly, he said we were all DEI hires,
exactly
and we got these jobs by default because we're black.
facts. He said every time that if he saw a black person uh, uh, operating a plane, he would say if he would ask if they were qualified. So he specifically said if he saw a black woman at a register, you know what I mean. He just had disdain, and you can look on his face and tell the disdain that he had for black people. You know what I mean. And so what I don't get, and I just don't get why a lot of our people, and I'm not trying to make any enemies, but a lot of our people are caping for some of these um, racist far right. You know what I mean? And so,
Well, I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead.
I, go ahead. I want your opinion because before you say anything,
Mhm.
Bonds, I know you. I hear a lot of young people your age,
Mhm.
sis, that kind of like have. If you're being serious, I kind of think you're trolling. But
Of course, I'm trolling, but
okay,
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this.
go ahead.
I've seen the videos of him saying, things about black women, and he look at this person and he think that, and but in some of his speeches or rants or whatever you want to call them, debates, he was making a lot of sense. Okay. Now, what I will say is, I didn't know who he was beforehand. My husband came home, and I'm thinking he talking about, a black dude that got, shot out here or whatever. That's what I was thinking. But then, I looked him up and I'm like, oh, okay, he down for Jesus. Okay, that's cool. So the only thing positive that I can say about him is that he was in my age group, and he was, a believer in, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I feel that one thing that he did do, even though, people are saying, he was taking the Bible and twisting it and taking scripture and using it out of context, this and that and the other. I believe he brought a young people into church. Now, as far as all the race and the political aspect of it, I really don't care because he's now gone. Okay. And how I look at it is, that's to me what was most important. Okay. There was a lot of young people that he was talking to. Some young people was even going to him for advice. And I saw some clips where he was giving good advice, things from the biblical aspect, and that's how I have, been looking at him. So all the stuff that he said about, what he say, you gonna cut into my spleen or something. I can't remember the exact what he said, but he was like, you gonna, cut into my body. You a black lady. That's null and void now. I did see him call, the little one Mexican guy, all out his name. But it's like all of that's it's over with. It's over. Like
But how
there's
can
How's
you be for
nothing
Jesus?
how's that
there.
over?
How
How,
can you be for Jesus and
Hmm.
you sitting up there ostracizing your fellow neighbor, you hating your fellow neighbor? The whole thing about it,
No, no,
is,
no, no.
you
I agree with you.
yeah,
I agree with you.
this
But
is
okay,
not
I'm
the.
talking about from my point of view. And my point of view
I
is,
understand that.
he was speaking from, a non-melanated, okay, if you ask me, orchestrated, okay, mindset. But on the flip side, where I saw him not, where he was actually, you know, speaking on the Bible when he wasn't using it out of context, when he was speaking some truth. That was some things I saw.
Yeah,
So I understand how y'all feel. I understand y'all look, oh, you can call me Jesus freak, whatever. At the end of the day, I feel he may have, he was not about the right in a lot of areas. But one place where he had it right, he was, advocating, for young people to get in church, okay, and to believe in God. And that is something I can honestly say, that, that's what we all should really be out here doing. But
yeah,
that's just my point of
yeah,
view.
we should. But let me just hold on, SBK.
okay.
Let me just address this because I really need everybody to hear this. Okay. It's nothing wrong with you advocating anybody to go to the Lord. There's nothing wrong about that at all. But what's wrong about it is they're all playing like this is in Jesus' name. If you look at the politics of America today, especially in the House of Representatives, all of them swear they love Jesus. All of them swear that they're on the Lord's side, and all of this Christian stuff. They're doing everything out of Christianity because they love Jesus. But everybody that call the Lord name, just say Lord, Lord, doesn't mean they're going to be accepted in heaven.
Amen. There
And
you
at
go.
the end of the day, a lot of these people are claiming this in the name of Jesus, but they're
Hmm.
still. How can you be for Jesus, but you want people to be homeless? You taking from the poor. You're taking from the most vulnerable people, and those are the people that Jesus walked around and helped. And another thing they're doing, they're using the Old Testament versus the New Testament, and the way America and the way politics work in America, church and state should be separate. You shouldn't be putting Jesus in anything that has anything to do with politics. And I'll digress and let you have it, SBK.
You basically hit on what I was about to say. Uh, uh, the Bible says that the devils believe in the Lord and tremble. You know what I mean? So wolves in sheep clothing. You know what I mean? And so
I didn't say.
no,
Go ahead. Go
but
ahead.
what I,
Go
but
ahead.
I'm but,
Go ahead.
but my point is, sis, is that a clock is going to be right twice a day. So just because
Right.
someone is pushing out Christianity does not mean that they have accepted Christ.
True.
Just because someone is pushing out Bible verses and it sounds good doesn't mean that what they're in their heart they mean well. That man, and I'm going to
Right.
go ahead and say it, that man did not mean well for you or I. He did not.
Right.
And because you don't know about him, I did. You know what I mean? And there's some
Right.
others. It's some others that work way worse than him. So the thing about it is that look, everything is in a agenda for these people. You know what I mean?
Right.
This
Exactly.
man was talking about basically before he passed on. He was talking about gang violence. He has been an
Right.
advocate of gun laws and saying that it
Right.
would be worth for people to lose their life in order for
Right.
you to keep your gun. And he lost his
I I
by
saw that clip too. Now
okay.
I'm gonna say this. I have a different opinion for a whole lot of things he said. Okay. And I even have an opinion about that. However, okay, you're right. I didn't say he was a leader. I didn't say he was somebody to look up to. I said even though, okay, he was spewing out a lot of BS, okay, in some places, okay, time and things, he was saying the right thing. And from my point of view, okay, whether he meant it in his heart or not, okay, there's a lot of young people, okay, that was hearing, hey, Jesus, 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 okay. They got that part of the message. They might not get the right part of the message, but if they go and give their life to Christ, they may get the right message. That's the only thing I'm saying. Y'all can make it, you know, politics and state. I don't care about none of that. Only thing I know is when he was, okay, quoting the Bible, you taking it out of context or whatever, okay, somebody heard the right message. Y'all saw right through him. Like I said, I ain't even know dude, okay? I didn't even know he was out here doing all this.
I'm
But what I did see, okay, and that's just my outlook on it. It's not gonna change. I don't
my
care if
th-
he didn't care about me. I don't care if he didn't care for me. I don't care if he's in heaven or hell. I really don't. All I know is I saw him talking to young folks, okay, who said they wanted to go get to know Jesus and this, that, and the other, and that's all that matters to me.
the thing about
God
it
will
is
use anybody.
the, the thing about it is, Bonds, is that God looks at your motives. God looks at your motive of doing things,
SBK, I know that.
and
I'm just
but
okay. Let me say this. I'm gonna say this.
Let him finish, Von. Then you can respond.
that's all I'm saying. God looks at your motive, and what people need to realize. That's the reason why I'm so hard on pastors and preachers today, because you're sitting there, and the pastor is supposed to be the elder. He's supposed to be the leader of the flock, correct? So when you're the leader of the flock, then you should be the example. I'm not saying you should be perfect, but you should be the example. Same thing with any type of leader, but it makes it even more so bad, little sis, that you got folks like himself and Donald Trump who use the Christianity, and he used the evangelical community to get elected. You lay a Bible in front of Donald Trump, and he wouldn't know Galatians from Genesis. He wouldn't even know where to
Right,
go. That man has never laid foot or put his finger on any type of verse in the Bible. But you know why
right,
he got hired on? Because of the evangelicals, because of Christians. He picked
right.
one little thing,
Mhm,
certain things in the scriptures when it comes to abortion, when it comes to morality that we
mhm,
all love and that we all believe in from the scriptures.
mhm.
He used that to get hired on. Same thing with Charlie Kirk. So what I'm
Right,
saying is that we all are going to give an account, and especially
right.
those who lead people. And
Mhm,
if you know the scriptures and you're using the scriptures to pervert things and to get people to do things because you know the scriptures, and inside your heart you know that you have another alternative motive, you're going to answer to
mhm.
God for that. That's all I got to say about that.
No, I agree with you. But what
And
I'm not gonna do is here's how I feel, honest to God. I don't care. And I'm being so honest. I don't care. I don't care about what he did because he's not here anymore. So it's like I just don't care.
Bonds,
Do you understand what I'm saying?
but you should care, Bonds, because we have
But
little ones.
why? He's
You know,
he's dead. Like what
but
what is there for me to care
Bonds,
about? He
Bonds,
got his judgment day
Bonds.
waiting on him. I'm worried about mine. I don't care about his.
Okay,
That's what I'm saying.
okay. Well, he's gone, but do you realize there's thousands upon thousands of people that have that same rhetoric? Do you realize that there's thousands upon thousands of men and women that listen to him and pushing out that same rhetoric, and he's
Mhm.
incited something? This is the only man, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I said what I said, but
Mhm.
this is the only man in history who was not a government official or anything, but just a social
Mhm.
media pundit that they lowered the flag for, and
Mhm.
he put so much emphasis on hatred and of people of color.
right.
So
Okay, so but let me ask you this, SBK. What can I do about it, me, Vaughn, other
you
than sit up
you
here? Wait, hold on, wait. Let me finish.
okay,
Other than sit up here, because I got plenty to say that I'm just not gonna say publicly, right? Because and honestly, I ain't trying to reap no bad seeds, okay? Because that's happening around here, right? So what can me, Vaughn, do? What can I do
I
about
think
that?
I think you should take things serious. I think
I am taking it serious. I don't know what you want me to say though. It's okay.
it's not
That's
that
that's
I
not
want you.
true.
I
That's
don't
not true.
I don't think I'm not saying that you're.
Mhm.
I think that you should understand, and I'm not trying to say that you don't, but little sis, I think that you should understand where we all came from and where we are today.
Mhm.
Because the thing about it is, little sis, is that
Mhm.
your grandmother, my grandmother, our forefathers, we
Mhm.
fought for this country just as well as some of these white folks that did in the Civil War and all that. And some of the freedoms that you and I are enjoying today are being
Mhm.
snuffed out right in front of our eyes because of what we're talking about right now. And
And
so
Mhm.
it's so to answer your question, to answer your question, you're saying what should you do? I think that you should do a little bit of research about
Mhm.
things and understand where we came from and where we are today. And I guarantee you, if you did some extensive research about
But
us,
SBK, I know all of that. Like history is one of my favorite subjects. What I'm saying is, never mind. It don't matter. It look.
it does matter.
it does
It
matter,
does
No,
matter.
it
sis.
no, it no, it don't because I'm not gonna change how what I'm saying because I know y'all want to hear more of how of what I'm thinking or my opinion and how I feel is the man is dead and gone. Okay, he has a wife and child. All right, and that's just how I feel about it.
But
Whatever he did, whatever he said, that's on him. All them thousands of people that want to follow up behind him and lean on to Jesus and that way of thinking, that's on them, is what I'm saying. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Okay.
I, I,
It don't have nothing to do with you. But if you're gonna speak on it and people
Mhm.
listen to you speak, you just want to make sure that you're giving out the right information because to me, it's no difference in how they did the slaves.
facts.
Slave masters used to take portions of the Bible, and
Mhm.
basically what they would do is they would show the slaves about the slaves that was in the Bible and try to justify slavery as being right, and that's what the Lord want. So to me,
Right.
it's no different.
I mean, but what false information have I given out? I told y'all I would seen all the videos and the stuff he said and the things he did. I just still choose to look at it, okay, well, yeah, he wasn't about the right, but hey, all right, he got thousands of people to go to church. Okay, I did see that. But if y'all saying that's a bad thing, I mean, that's just y'all's opinion. I can't change that. I feel like it's bad preachers in the pulpit. Wolves in sheep's clothing. Politician ain't no different.
All I'm saying is that yeah, it's not even any different. But we are going. All I'm simply saying is I agree with you, but we're all going to give an account for each and every mumbling word that comes out of our mouth. And if we're leaders,
Right.
if we're leaders, and we proclaim Christ, and
Mhm.
we're leading folks supposedly to Christ,
Mhm.
because where I come from, uh, the Christ that I serve did not spew out hate. The Christ that I serve did not
Facts.
talk about. The Christ that I serve did not does not believe in. Oh yeah, the blacks are replacing us. That's basically what this dude was saying. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I just don't get. You can.
But okay,
It's
so let
almost
me
like
let me okay, let me ask you this though, SBK. Have you noted like don't get me wrong, okay? Because I gotta be honest with y'all. I don't want to talk about this. Okay, I just gotta keep it all the way 100. I don't want to talk about this because like I said, there were some things he said, and even others say when it comes to, racism and, all of this stuff that's going on that people say are racist, but it actually makes sense. Okay. So I'm going to give y'all an example. Okay. One thing, okay, because never mind. Never mind. The hell with all this because y'all not finna get on my nerves today. Okay. But what I will say is, it's some things that these people say not only do it make sense, but it seems like they get chastised for it, and it's like, oh, you're a racist. And it's like, I don't think everything, people of non-color say, okay, or whatever we gonna call them, because apparently they got color too, right? You
Hmm.
know, is racist. It's more of a let's think about this. Okay, let's think about this for a second. And one thing he said that I do agree with, okay, was that okay, so because of what our ancestors went through, okay, in 2025. Now let's just keep it 100. Okay, you got black men, okay, running around here talking about reparations and my mule and woo woo woo, but they don't want to go to work. Okay, and then he even brought up the fact that, there are black people, or Hispanics and all these other people being hired because they have to meet the race quota or whatever, instead of actually hiring people, who are qualified to do the job. I'm not saying, okay, that, you know, you shouldn't be hired, okay, because of the color of your skin, but it's like that does actually make sense. However, y'all, everybody else is looking at it like, oh, well, they only started hiring us because of, prejudice and that, and the other. I agree with that. But it's like, why do we even have to have a dang on race quota? Okay, why do we have to have rights as black people, or gay, or other color? Like, why did, like, let's just move all that shit out the way, okay, so that we can all just be normal and live peaceably amongst each other. Now all of that, they use the Bible to justify racism, okay, and people being gay and this, that, and the other. I think that's bullshit. I just got to be honest, okay. I don't think that's right. But some of the things that these people are saying actually does make sense, okay. If we could take some of these, color laws out of here, okay, and actually just hire people stop looking at people skin color, being prejudiced, racist, okay, ignorant, whatever, the world would be a better place. That's all I'm saying, okay.
Well, the reason
So
why the reason why we have reparations, why everybody's crying about reparations, because every other marginalized group that America did wrong got reparations, i.e., Indians, Chinese people, Japanese people, some of the Germans, Jewish, everybody
right.
else was giving back their reparations. And for what America did to them, everybody except for the black people. And black people are the
Mhm.
ones who helped make them. Black people built that White House. Black people are
Mhm.
the ones who helped build America up, but we get no
Mhm.
credit for it. The reason why
Right.
you have to have affirmative action is because prior to the 70s, a black man couldn't go nowhere and work. All a black man
Mhm.
could do is get whatever job that they would give them. Now you have black men that's CEOs. So if it wasn't for
Mhm.
affirmative action, no black people, we would still be on the bottom. So it's all
Right.
about the Benjamins, and it's always been about the Benjamins. And even Charlie Kirk was doing what he was doing because he was
Mhm.
being paid to do what he do. Fox
Mhm.
News pundits get paid to do what they do. Candace Owens got paid to talk about the black people. And I'm not
Mhm.
saying that black people are perfect and that we shouldn't do better. Yeah, it's a lot of
Mhm.
things that black people should do to help
Mhm.
uplift themselves. But do you know they couldn't even uplift themselves until affirmative action came in play? We couldn't even go
Mhm.
vote. If we wanted to vote, we had to take a damn test.
Mhm.
Okay, we had to take a civics test to just to even
Right.
go vote, just to even make our voices being heard. So when SBK say that your generation and some of the other generations, the younger people, you guys, they're taking history out of the textbooks. They're taking history out of college campuses. They're trying to wipe away history because you don't
Mhm.
know, if you don't know where you've been, you can't know where you're going. And you have to
Mhm.
know this history. It's not that we have to harp on it every day. It's just
Mhm.
that people have laid down their lives for us to vote. It's people that
Mhm.
was hung up on trees because they wanted to go vote, because they wanted equal treatment. And I don't think black people want a handout. I think black people just want a fair seat at the table, and that's all we've
Mhm.
always asked for.
I'm gonna say this here. I'm gonna drop down, ladies. Great discussion. The thing about this is that this man, Mr. Kirk, what really uh, it just hurts my soul. I get so angry, but I have to, you know. And this man he was just speaking what I want to say a large portion of what non-black folks think. This man
Mhm.
actually said, little sis, that black people thrive better when we were under subjugation.
Mhm.
He said that in slavery times, before civil rights and slavery, black people. That's when the black people of our country. That's when we thrived. And in other words, bring us back to slavery. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I don't respect that. I don't
Mhm.
respect that. I don't respect anybody that says stuff like that. You might say, like I said, you might say a lot of good things within all of the BS, but or a lot of things that might make sense within BS. But I'm not going to take your BS. You see what I'm saying? And so,
Right.
if you're against me or my people, then you're not my friend. You're an enemy. And how you treat enemies or whatever, either you fight or you tuck tail and run. And SBK ain't no runner. SBK is a dude that's going to speak to the shout to the highest mountaintop that as let freedom ring. This dude said MLK was a terrible person. You know what I mean? The same guy that we're talking about right now.
He said that. I didn't see that
Yes,
clip.
ma'am.
Because if I would have known he said that, but no, seriously, y'all, I'm really tired of the color. Okay, I really am. I just got to be honest, because it's like we always talk about how the white people is treating us, okay, and other people treating us, and it's like I see the way we treat us, okay. So it's not that I'm just whatever. It's like you know we could do a lot better, okay, but we don't. And I'm not talking about, as far as working or anything like that. I'm talking about our mindset. It's like when we all get together, we talk about black empowerment and how they did back in the day, but nobody wants to do it or nobody's willing to do it. So when I see everybody getting all upset about the hateful things that the white people are saying, it's like, but nobody's doing anything about it. I just got to keep it real, okay? There is no more Martin Luther Kings out here. It ain't no more Malcolm X's, okay? No, nobody respects anybody in black. Like, I even um I to this day, don't like a lot of people because they don't like former President Barack Obama. And it's like, why? 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 Oh, because he let gay people get married and because he started this insurance. And it's like he was actually trying to do something. Okay. And he's a black man, okay, in the White House. And it was like everybody was all excited when he got in, and then all of a sudden, okay, there was Obama this and Obama that. And it's like to me, I feel like we turn on each other quicker, than they do because they see all this bullshit Trump doing. Okay. They saw all the bullshit, Calvin Klein was out here doing, and then they all backing them, right and wrong. Okay. People out here know the Bible. Okay. know the Bible don't say this and that, or they're taking it out of context, and they still have all this support. But you know, I don't. I'm not gonna say I don't see the same support, but when he was in office, they was ripping my dude apart, and it hurt my feelings because it's like, you know, we always talking about black people don't stick together, and it's like I feel like black people turned against Obama, and I can't forgive y'all for that because it's like these white people do anything under the sun, and the white people back them. They make excuses for them. Oh, they didn't mean it like that, or they doing this because of this and that. But the one black man that was in office, y'all had something to say about him. So how I feel about it is, I mean, unless somebody gonna do something about the shit, okay, everybody just needs to shut up, okay, unless somebody gonna stand up, okay, and take that hit, and I do mean the hit, okay, of being unalive, then stop it. And that's really how I feel. Because the only
What
people I know that stood up for black people, okay, umpteen years ago, okay, are dead now. And nobody respects the people that actually try to get up and do something about it.
well, every time you get somebody famous that try to help the people that do try to help out, Farrakhan is really the only person that they haven't taken out yet because every other leader, they try to unalive them or they try to strip them of their money.
And
And
it's
so,
black people that don't like him because he's racist. And it's like,
yeah.
I'm not going to say, so
But
what?
and
I'm
also
not going to say that.
I feel like any president that's in the presidency is going to be talked about. And how can you? I mean, Obama was the first black president, and when he became the president, a lot of this stuff was just like, to me, America was trying to get along. I'm not saying we've always had that section that of people that just weren't going to accept everybody, but people were for
Right.
the most part getting along until Obama came in office, and that scared the bejesus out of them to know that a black man could be elected in office. And I don't think people understand. They don't want black people in charge of them. That's why it's over 300,000 black women have lost their jobs since he's been in office. Because,
Mhm.
in my opinion, no white man want any black woman telling them what to do, or black man. It see the way that they want it, sis. They want you to stay in your place, like the black man used to have to do back in the day. Yes, sir, and no, sir. That's what they want you to go back to. They want you to stay in your place. And that's why you have to fight. And that's why you have to speak up. And that's why everybody have to come together, because they're trying to take us back prior to the civil rights era. And prior to civil rights, that's exactly how it was. You had separate water fountain, you had separate everything. You couldn't even get a good job. Uh, your mom or your dad or your uncle or your auntie, they wouldn't be working the places that they're working if it wasn't for the civil rights era. So that's why it's so important for everybody to recognize what the civil rights era really was, what the Jim Crow laws really was, because we were free. We wasn't slaves anymore, but we still couldn't get a fair seat at the table. And for us not to vote, and for us not to try to sit at a table, is a slap in the face to our forefathers, in my opinion.
Hey, ladies, I'm gonna drop down. Good
Don't
talking to
you
you. Great,
run now.
great
Don't
discussion.
you run now.
He leaving Miss Mimi because he mad. I'm
Oh
Don't
not
my
you
finna.
Who's
goodness,
not mad? Who's
run.
not mad?
I don't care.
I got time,
I told y'all
Bon,
I
bon,
didn't want to talk about this.
Bonds, I'm gonna get you back. All right, ladies, I love y'all.
All right,
I'll see y'all
SBK.
later on. All right.
But you
All
guys
right.
heard, it was just a black boy, 22 years old, hung from a damn
Mm-hmm.
tree.
Mm-hmm.
And we
Mm-hmm.
thought we've overcome stuff like this, but this is the kind of stuff that they have been pulling all this time. And like I said, they trying to take us back.
Yes. And that's what I wanted to come and say. How you doing? I said what I said, and Vaughn and SBK who
Hey,
ran
Miss
out the
Mimi.
panel. One thing you said is nobody ain't doing this and nobody ain't doing that. And I wanted to tell you, change starts with all of us. We can't look for the next person to do it. Well, what are they gonna do? No, what are we gonna do? What are you gonna do? What am I gonna do? What I said gonna do? What is everybody sitting in the chat gonna do? I think your generation, I think I'm just saying this for me, because me and I said what I said are actually around the same age group. And I think we were taught the struggle, what our parents had to go through, what they had to go to just to get a equal seat at the table, or even to get not at the table, to get in the house, closer to the table. You understand what I'm saying? And I think our parents taught us that, and I think we me and myself, we were kind of far removed. I taught my daughter the importance of voting, but I think y'all just don't know the importance of what people like Martin Luther King did, what Malcolm X did, as far as civil rights. You know what I'm saying? And in a perfect world with perfect people, we wouldn't have these problems. You understand what I'm saying? So he was racist in the things that he said. Did he say some things that may hit home? Yeah, we should all work together. But ultimately, the things that he said was highly inflammatory. It was derogatory, and it was racist. You understand what I'm saying?
But see, what I. Never
What you
mind. I
saying?
don't
We're
look.
just talking. We're
Look,
just
no,
talking.
because that's the problem. Okay. My thing is this. Okay, y'all know I'm a little color struck. Okay, so it's
Oh
not that I'm
Lord, there you
above.
go.
No, 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 no. Because I'm being transparent and honest. Okay, it's not that I'm above. Okay, seeing color, but that be the problem. It's like everything. becomes about color on both sides, okay? When it shouldn't be about color. It shouldn't be about that. It's like if we just take that out of it, okay, and make all people equal to each other, in my opinion, things would be better, okay? And it's like, to me, when I'm listening to politics, some of the stuff that they saying, to me it's a bunch of bullshit. Because why is the, like, for example, the abortion thing, okay, people being gay, you know, who should be able to do what? It's like it's like we hang on to that. It's like they find one thing, not find. They say the perfect thing to get everybody's feathers ruffled, right? And that's the thing that everybody hangs on to. When it's like, but are you seeing the bigger picture? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong, okay? Dude, okay, Agent Orange, okay, of course he's racist, right? Without a doubt. I know that, right? But some of the policies or whatever that he came up with, not policies, but when he was saying, like, people outside of our country can come over here and can get jobs and things like that, and they can start businesses. They don't have to have this, that, and the third. It's like, wait a minute. I didn't even know they could do that. Okay, he's right. I'm not agreeing that, you know, oh, we need to keep them people out of here. They thugs and rapists and woo, woo, woo. It's like, what? I guess what I'm saying is, why the hell isn't there a person in office like that? You know what I'm saying? Who actually, it's like they purposely pick these people, who are controversial and have racist outlook, okay, and they put them in charge. And I'm not saying that Calvin Klein wasn't exactly that, but it's like, the stuff that they're saying, actually it just makes sense. It's like, well, if we did this instead of that, or if we paid more attention to this instead of that, life would be better. That's all I'm saying. So, I'm being serious. Like, it's like, I feel like the whole division and being mad at folks and, oh, he was racist and woo woo woo, it irritates me. Because it's like, to me, all I see is confusion and chaos. Okay, but there's a
Mm-hmm.
whole problem over here that you literally have pointed out that can be solved. But because they racist as hell, okay, now the problem ain't gonna get solved because you didn't shot off at the mouth and let everybody know you can't stand black folks. It's like, just shut up and do your job.
But with
But you,
even all with all of the crime going on in America,
mm-hmm.
immigrants commit 0.1% of the crimes. Black people commit, I think it was like 13% of the crimes, and then white people was on the pie chart. They committed like 30 to 40% of the crime as far as young white men. They commit more crimes than anybody, but it's not on the news. They
Right.
they have more welfare, whether it's corporate welfare or just regular everyday person welfare. They take
Right.
up more funds than anybody do, but it's not on the news.
Come
They
on
try to
now. They
they
get
try to
more welfare
yeah,
and they get more Obamacare. They
they
want to
get
call
more
it
everything.
Obamacare.
They get more
Yes.
everything, but it's not on the news. It's portrayed that black people are the problem. And
Mm-hmm.
black people are some of the hardest working people there are.
Yes.
Black people are some of the most conservative people that there are.
Come on.
It's a lot of black people won't do half of the things that a white person would do.
For money. Yeah.
When I was going to school, it was relayed to us and it was understood by us because we were like some of the first people that was integrated into the white kids school. We went
Mm-hmm.
over there, no white kids, and I'm talking about junior high school. They was over there smoking cigarettes, smoking weed, popping pills,
Come on.
sniffing paint. They was doing a whole lot of shit that we ain't even never thought about doing
Heard of.
and
That's
trying to
true.
introduce that to us. So a lot of our bad habits we learned from them, but it's portrayed on the news that we're actually the problem when we're really not.
That
All a
is
black
true.
person really want to do is just live in
Make it.
peace and harmony. And I'm not saying all black people, But most of the
Mhm.
majority of the black people really just want to go to work, come home, and pop them a brew, get them a glass of wine or a bottle of beer at the end of the day, eat their dinner, and go to bed
Start over the next
and
day. But
start over the next day.
what I
And it,
want to tell
and
Okay,
mind
so
and
my
mind our
question
Vaughn,
and
is
mind our own business. Most black people mind their own business. It's the white people that be telling
right.
everything on
you
everybody,
see such and
looking
such
all
over
up,
there.
That is
yeah,
true.
looking up at
So
all
my
down the
but my
neighborhood,
question
looking for
is
problems.
but my question is with all of that information, okay, what we gonna do about it? Like
What are we gonna
what is
do,
there to do
Vaughn?
about it?
What I want
When
to tell you
I'm just
is,
what?
let me say this: if they can keep us minoring in the majors and majoring in the minors, they're always going to keep us divided. You understand what I'm saying? If they could say, "Oh, look at here, these all of these people are coming in here, and they coming in here, and they getting these businesses, and they starting this and starting that." Some of the immigrants, I don't agree that they should come over here, illegally. But they are some of
Right.
the immigrants are the Latinos and the Hispanics are
I
some of the most
agree.
hardest working people, and they come here and do the jobs that we don't want to do because we not
Right.
working out in the fields no more. We
And
had
the,
to do that
and the
for
Indians
years for free. We had
and
to
the
do that for
Indians and
years for free.
the Indians and the Chinese are coming over here doing the jobs that we can't do, that we not smart enough to do.
There you go.
But we're
Right.
supposed to be the superpower of the world, and our kids, in America's operating on a damn eighth grade education, basically.
Yeah, that part. Yes.
And okay, Senna, my point exactly. You know what? Like I said, what we gonna do about it?
What we gonna do? What are your suggestions? How could we be
My
better?
suggestions is when black people are in office, okay, we stick with them. Okay, no matter what. And I do mean
Okay.
that. No matter the same way, okay. Everybody want to ride with Trump no matter what, okay? He don't know the Bible from whatever, okay? So the same way. Cuz I see things a little differently, okay? All right. People say, oh, you just like Obama cuz he black, so what? Okay? They like dude because he white. They like dude because he didn't marry the lady, all outside of the country, but she's so much
They
better
like
than
him
Michelle.
because he
It's like
spoke and speaks to their fears, and their worst fear
right,
is to have black people empowered all together on one accord. That's their
right.
greatest fear. So they continue to keep us divided. Oh, they this, that, and the third. Oh, we don't do this. Oh, we don't do that. But
But it's nothing new under the sun, guys.
right, and if
Like
and if you don't know
like
your history,
even in the slave days, guys, they divided our families up purposely.
yes, yes.
They made the light person in charge of all of the darker skinned people.
Well,
And
that
so
started in
it's
slavery from
that's what I'm
massa,
saying. In slavery, they did
and
this in
it's been
slavery, and it's still happening today.
right. It's
Black people
still
have
And why
never
woven.
eh, but why is that?
because black people have never gotten over the
There
slave
you go.
mentality,
There you
in my
go.
opinion.
Okay.
There you
Okay.
go.
We're still under the slave mentality. That's they broke our families up, so we really don't know. You really, at the end of the day, your last name is really a slave name from back in the day from
But
your
we had
ancestors.
I know
our
that, sis.
servants.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you don't nobody really know who they are. Nobody, you
Hmm.
really could be married to your cousin and don't even really realize it at the end of the
that
day.
is true.
And
I
so
can't with
so
her.
what I'm just saying, the way that they do, because you have to look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is to divide and conquer, like somebody
Yes,
just put in the
yeah, to
chat
keep
while
us
ago.
divided.
Yeah, to keep you divided, because and even when the British people came over here to America, they were called Great Britons. They were called um what was the word that they were calling them, Mimi, when they first came over here? They were I know they were called Puritans and other names, but it wasn't such a
Patriots,
thing as black and
right?
white. Black and white came into play when slavery came into play. and they told the poor white people, at least you're not, you're above the black people, you're above the slaves. And that's really how the police forces came into play, and all of that is just so the
Mm-hmm.
poor white people can look over the poor
Look
black
over, yeah,
people,
feel like they are
That
and
that's
better.
and
that's
make
my
them feel like,
that right there.
and
This
make
right
them
here.
feel like that they're in power. And and that concept has never changed. That's the way it is still today.
Mm-hmm.
White people can be the smart, they could be the poorest white person living in a trailer park that only have one bedroom, and they got 10 kids. They got 15 people in that damn trailer park, but in that one trailer, but they still feel like that they're better than you because they're
Superior.
white.
That's right.
Because Rockefeller and everybody else, the Pacific TransUnion Railroad people, all the rich billionaires, millionaires back in the day told them that they were better
Excuse me.
than us. And that's the reason why they stick together. That's the reason why whatever they people
Mm-hmm.
do, they okay with it, because they've been conditioned to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to my point. This statement right here. Okay, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. Okay,
Who said that?
so this
And,
is
and
why.
nobody is
Okay,
saying that
but
they
no, no,
are.
no, no, sis, no, sis. This is why I said earlier I don't care, because it's like we all sitting up here talking about, how everything happened. Okay, from the very beginning. All right, but where is the change? Okay,
Change.
well, like for real.
Well,
Now,
what
now
are
y'all
you
keep
gonna do
wait,
to
wait.
change it
I'm not
for
finished,
your
Miss Mimi.
kids?
Now
What
y'all sat up
you
here.
gonna do?
Y'all, I'm not. I heard what you said, but I'm not finished. Okay. Now
I'm
y'all
waiting.
sat up here and said, "Oh, you don't know the history, Vaughn, and you need to go do research and this, that, and the other." Okay. On some level, I'm gonna agree
I
with
didn't
some of
say
that.
that. Yeah, I didn't
However,
say that.
Miss Mimi, I'm not finished. Okay. I'm gonna agree with some of that. Okay, just a little bit. Okay, because the reparations part. Okay, it to me it was like, he does have a point. Okay, but on the flip side, like sis said, okay, everybody else got money, we didn't. I can understand that, right? Here's what I have to say. To me, okay, my y'all say the new generation don't get it. I feel the new generation has made much more progress, okay, than everybody else did. Okay, with the help, okay, of the generation before us, of mixing, okay, families. All right. You don't see a whole lot of racism going on up in the new generations. You see a lot of white kids and black kids getting along just fine, okay, growing up in the same neighborhoods and stuff like that. Honestly, a lot of this is the older people, okay, because Trump is what, 70 something, and all the people that he got riled up is from y'all generation, okay. Y'all say our generation don't care, we not taking it seriously. I just don't. I'm gonna say this because it is only in our history books, okay, and in some places, okay, there's just not a lot of this going on. I believe that we're making progress. Okay. I don't believe that just because not just because, but there's a lot of older people in office. A whole lot of older people. I
Hmm.
can 1,000% agree that y'all are right. Us young people don't care about none of that. Because nobody's walking around here treating each other like that.
And I agree with what you're saying, that you guys are getting along better. And that's what the fear is, sis. They don't want you to get along.
Hmm.
They don't want everybody mixing with each other. And that's what the big fight is about. They are afraid that their race is becoming distinct, and it is becoming distinct because they are the ones who were able to take birth control pills in the 50s and 60s when black women didn't know anything about it.
And
Okay.
they gutted us like fish,
They're the
gave us
ones who wanted
hysterectomies.
they're the
Come
ones
on.
who wanted that suburban life with two
And
kids.
and
They,
yeah, and I was even gonna
they're
say,
the ones who wanted those two children in the house and not a whole house full of kids. So now everybody else have to pay for them making those decisions that they made. And I do agree with you. My generation, because we're the ones who first had to get integrated. We're the ones who
mm-hmm,
first accepted the other races. So you're
right,
absolutely right. My generation, what am I, X, generation X, we are the
Hmm.
first ones to integrate with everybody. We are the first ones to accept other races and try to live in peace and harmony. And so I'm saying that your generation, and I applaud that. I'm glad that y'all don't care. But it's not about y'all though. It's about the older white people, like you say, that's in office right now, because
Empower.
anybody in Congress that's 60 plus, all of them was in the Jim Crow era, okay, including Joe Biden. Okay,
Hmm.
including Joe
Right.
Biden. And I'm not saying Joe Biden and a lot of them, what I'm saying is we were all getting along. I'm not saying everybody didn't go in their house and still talked about each other or whatever, but we was trying to do equal rights. They was trying to be fair. Like you said, if you had an education, then yeah, you could go get a job, wherever you applied for. And that's all I'm saying. We don't all have to like each other. We don't, but we can respect one another, and we all can have a seat at the table. And I do applaud you guys, and I do feel like America is going to be better slowly but surely. But it's only been 50 years since civil rights came on the scene. So you
Hmm.
do have to, everything happens, the justice system is like you heard it, it's a slow turning wheel. Everything progress is slow, very, very slow. So that's what everybody is fighting for. The progression that's already been made, they're trying to take us back, and that's all we're trying to say. I'm not trying to say that you guys are wrong and that y'all not um a better
Informed enough
generation,
to right.
because I do feel like y'all are a better generation. I do feel like y'all do accept each other, and I do feel like that y'all don't care about color, but you have to care about the freedoms that's being taken away from you. We got people in the South right
Right.
now being unalived, and I know you seen it on social media where the state of Georgia made this lady that was brain dead stay. They kept her on the machine until that baby was born, and that baby was born last month, and it's all because of abortion laws.
I did see
And
that.
so what I'm saying is you want to keep the freedoms that you've always had, but with the freedoms that you've always had, you just want to make it better. And that's what my plight is about all of this.
And I would say
No,
this. Yeah,
I understand that.
I
Can I
would
say
say
something right
this.
quick?
Hold on 1 second, too strong. I would say this: if they take away civil rights and equal opportunities, where do you think that's going to leave us? Because although in this perfect world that you're speaking about, everybody would get the same opportunities, it's been shown, somebody got background noise. It's been shown that that doesn't necessarily happen because all four of us can go in there, say two of us is white and two of us is black, and the black people can be the most educated ones in there and the most qualified. But because we don't have the same, what should I say? What is I'm just gonna say white
Opportunity,
privilege.
opportunity,
Yeah, yeah,
opportunity.
opportunity. We not gonna get they're not gonna look at us the same because they're gonna be looking out for each other. That's the reason why civil rights had to come in so that we could just get our fair shake at things. We're not saying we want any special privileges. We just wanted to be treated equally. We want to be, not judged by the color. What he say, the content of our character, and not the color of our skin. We want to be judged on what we're able to
On our
bring to
merits. On our
yeah, on the
merits.
merit, what we're able to do. Cause I've seen it happen where people will come out of college. I'm talking about people of color, went to school 8+ years and they can't even get a job at the lowest level. But Sally or old Betty over there come right out of school and she hitting almost at the top.
Well, just look at the presidents. Obama had to be a scholar. He was a law scholar.
This one we got is dumber than a box of rocks.
And Bush uh uh
Dumb,
grade average was
dumb too.
A C at best.
Mm-hmm.
And they just get in because of the color of their
Color of
skin
their skin, not
and
but
not by their
and
merits.
look at
And
Trump.
DEI
He's a
is in
felon.
reverse. It's in reverse for them.
Can I
Exactly.
can I say something right quick?
Go ahead. I'm gonna
I
go on
want
mute.
to go back to the thing about us black folks not getting along, but we our own worst enemy. We hate on each other. We the only race that's out here dragging each other. We the only race that's out here that are downplay, and then when it's time to speak, we silent. And that be the problem. When it's time to get out here and put boots on the ground and do all this, Black people don't want to say nothing. They sit back and they watch this like they afraid. You get what I'm saying? If they say, come on, let's not go into Target and take back our black dollars and all that. That's the only way they gonna feel and
Exactly.
respect us.
That's what I said.
That's
Hit him
the
in the
that's
pocketbook.
that's the only way they gonna respect us. We the only people on this app that sit right here. If you go through and you just like here on this, just using this app as an example, you don't see the Chinese do it, you don't see the Mexicans do it, you don't see the white folks do it, you don't see nobody do it. I'm not saying all black people, but I'm saying majority of the black people, we ain't got nothing good to say about each other. And we can't blame it on, oh, it's the I forgot the dude name, the Willie Lynch thing. Oh, it's his fault. No,
Thank you.
you got a choice. We can't talk about what happened in our past because we not our ancestors. What my ancestors took, I'm not gonna take. It's a choice for you to do. I'm not waiting on no handout. I'm gonna do what I got to do. I'm gonna work hard and I'm gonna do what I got to do. You get what I'm saying? I'm not gonna make no excuse about what happened to the past. Yes, our ancestors went through, but that's not gonna stop you because we have opportunities that they didn't have.
But that what we're saying too strong is that he's trying to take away all the
Yes, and what
opportunity.
I'm saying is
That,
fight.
that,
That's
okay,
what I'm saying. Is
okay,
because you got some people that just do more talking than anything, and
that's true.
they don't put no action behind the talking. That's
Okay,
what I'm saying.
And
If
that's
but
we
what
that's
I'm
can get
all
along,
saying for
that's
you
all I was
guys
saying,
is,
Too
if
Strong.
we
That's
can get
all I was
along
saying.
as a community, just like the Mexicans do, they went out there and started fighting. They don't care if they was going to jail or not. You get what I'm saying? They was out there
Exactly. During
defending. They
C-19,
was
they had
defending.
all their stores locked up and was standing outside their stores
Exactly.
with guns,
Defending, but you not gonna
with
black
bang
folks not
bang,
gonna
pow
waste no
pow.
dollars. They not gonna do that. And that's just the truth. They gonna worry about themselves. They selfish. And that's so true. I've been there. I can talk that way because I'm black. But majority of black people are selfish. They not gonna go out there, come on, we're gonna do this, we're gonna be as a collective, we're gonna get together and we're gonna be it because it was so much back then, but we can choose to get along. If we quit getting along for the foolishness and do for something that's right and do some pushback, we can make a difference. That's all I'm saying.
we didn't say the difference
But you
couldn't be
know,
made, but what I'm trying to say is change has to
hmm
start with each and every one of us. What
but
are
Miss
we gonna
Mimi,
do? On it has to start on our local level. Are we voting? Are we getting the right people in? Are we going to these community meetings when they
Mm-mm,
coming in here and
mm-mm,
trying? Oh,
mm-mm,
is that what we're doing? Or are we just
mm-mm.
saying at this 4 year election and expect that he's gonna make this change? A lot of black people want they quiet as it's kept. They was rooting for Trump. Oh, he gonna do this. Trump gonna make it so much better for the black people. He gonna
that's
get
true.
people gonna say, oh yeah, he gonna give us another stimulus check. He ain't gave us nothing. He ain't did
Okay,
nothing.
well, it's time to
Hey,
move
I
past
want to
on that
finish
point.
talking. He ain't done
You were
nothing.
talking while I was talking, but we can
I
move on
wasn't.
past that point.
Wait,
We can
wait,
move.
wait,
Hold
y'all.
on,
We
Chill
can
hold
out.
move
on,
past
hold
that
on,
point.
hold on, Sunshine. Let her finish, and then you can respond.
I'm done. I'm done.
No, no, Miss Mimi, no. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
He hasn't done anything that he said he was going to do. He's caused more division. He's caused more harm. He's making everything go in reverse. He stokes fear. He's a fear monger. He stokes hatred, and oh, he's a horrible leader. Period. He wasn't
So,
even qualified.
if you after
Obama,
you complaining, what you gonna do? What the
who?
complaining gonna do? I'm talking about period. Just like if he's this and that, what are you gonna do to make the change?
Keep voting and keep making my voice known and not
Okay.
talk about the after effects and what that this guy is a talking point now because in the manner in which his life was taken. And I don't agree with it. He didn't deserve to be assassinated like that at all. But he said
And
some
I
very
don't think he was
tasteful.
assassinated. I feel like he was just shot. That's how I feel. But go ahead.
Well, if he was, targeted and hit the way anyway, I don't agree with
He
that.
gone anyway. However,
Yeah.
however y'all look at it, he
Yeah,
out.
he left, and it was very unfair. He left behind a family, and yada yada yada. But it's a big talking point now because, oh, he was gonna do this, he was gonna do that. But when was he gonna start doing that? Because you go back to his last speeches that he done on these college campuses, it was very divisive. You understand? It wasn't meant
Right.
to bring any type of harmony, any type of unity, any type of equality. You understand what I'm saying? But
Okay. So
you
let me
now you
let me
can't
ask
even.
you this.
Okay.
No, no, I have a sincere question. So although, okay, because I agree with everything. I'm not gonna say it. I agree with everything you said, Miss Me. Okay, I've even quoted scripture. Okay, that agrees with his demise. Okay, we just gonna keep it at that. All right. However, okay, so because I feel like y'all had missed one of the points that I was making. Okay, because in my opinion, okay, anything that the devil means for evil, okay, God turns it around for his good. Okay, any shape, form, or fashion. And it was like, y'all was stuck on, oh, but he was misrepresenting, Christ. And it don't mean that he had it in his heart and this, that, and the other. So nobody can agree or even think about, yeah, he was doing things about the wrong, but something good came out of it. However, and I'm not saying his death, I'm saying getting the young people in church. Nobody agrees with that. Nobody agrees with that. Because although he may have been misquoting the Bible, he may have had misleading opinions, okay, of what he read out of the Bible. It doesn't mean that people still weren't souls weren't saved, is what I'm saying. Nobody can agree with that. Nobody.
Who got saved?
No, I don't know. It's all these thousands of people. You think out of all them thousands of people, it wasn't just one? That's all I'm asking. Okay then.
Are you asking a question, Ron?
I I'm finna go. I'm finna go. Since you take over, cause I'm finna cuss everybody out.
No, I'm asking. I'm about to, y'all have a good evening. I will be in the chat.
Miss B, why y'all don't leave? How you gonna
She
leave?
always in her
Didn't I
feelings.
ask
She can
y'all
talk and do
questions?
whatever she want to do and then get mad. You need to stop it.
I don't agree
I'm
with the way
done.
he brought.
I'm done.
I don't agree with the way he brought people to Christ because it's his ulterior motive for me. Sunshine, can you mute for a second because you got a lot of background noise. I don't agree with the way that he brought people to the church because it's all about the ulterior motive for me. And at the end of the day, nothing that he did was Christ like in my opinion. And maybe the people that he did bring, maybe they'll find their way. But if they're going to go under the demise of him, and if they're going to follow his teaching and follow his thinking, then they should have just not even, to me, in my opinion, there was no point for them to even go back to the church if that's the way that they're going to think, because nothing about him seemed Christ like to me at all. Jesus Christ taught love, he taught to feed the hunger, the poor, he taught about peace and harmony. He didn't teach anything about down looking down on people and trying to divide people and to try to ostracize a whole group of people. And in my opinion, that's what Charlie Kirk was about. He was about division. He was about getting paid for his money, because we all know drama sells. And if you could be a very decisive figure in America, then yes, you are going to get paid. And in my opinion, that's what he was doing it for. He was doing it for the paycheck. I don't think he was doing it because he was a Christian, but that's just my point of view. of him
Mhm.
and what his teachings are. And so I'd rather be a sinner, uh, rather than to follow his teaching and go under Christ under his under his
Uh-uh.
way of
Oh,
thinking. If I'm gonna think like that,
right.
and that some people shouldn't be here, some people are not qualified enough to do a certain job, or if I'm gonna look down on people, to me, that's not Christ-like at all.
Okay. I love you, Anaya. I ain't even see you in here, girl. Look, Miss Mimi, don't type in the chat because you could have said that on the panel. But what I'm gonna say is,
Oh, now she can't even
all
type in the
y'all,
chat.
no, cause she left, and then Amanda ran behind her, and Miss Allison here clowning, and all y'all just getting on my nerves today. I love y'all, but okay, look, all right. No, I respect your opinions, sis. All jokes aside, I really do. But
Yeah. I mean, if he
what I
brought
was
people, but if he brought people to the Lord in the right way, I wouldn't have no problem with him because, like I said, we're all entitled to our own opinion. Whatever his
thank you.
opinion is,
Look
whatever
at
his
look what
opinion
Ninja
is,
said.
that's fine with me. And like I said that in the beginning of the live, I don't think nobody should be taken out because of what they think
Mm-hmm.
and how and their values or what have you. I don't think it's right for anybody to be taken out for what they say or how they think. But if you're gonna look back, that's what Martin Luther King. That's exactly and precisely why he was taken out. That's
And
precisely why Malcolm X was taken out. That's precisely
right.
why they got rid of what's the brothers was called in the 70s, um, the Black
Who?
Panthers. Anytime
Oh
black
yeah.
people, yeah, anytime black people try to come together, and you say why we
Mm-hmm.
can't come together, well, anytime we have tried to come together, they make sure they destroy us. Either they put us in prison or they put us in a graveyard. So that's why come people not jumping and say sign me up. Is because people
Mm-hmm.
really want to live. They just trying to live their lives, and it shouldn't be where you have to
Mm-hmm.
if you're trying to get a group of people together because they can form all the groups they want to form and nobody
Mm-hmm.
take them out up until now. But
Well, that's what I was gonna say,
yeah,
sis. Before you said that, I said I was I honestly have a lot to say, but I just don't care to because to me it's just like saying a whole bunch of nothing and nobody's gonna do anything about it. I mean, I can troll and joke all day because to hell with it, right? Honestly, it's like whatever. But in all God's honesty, I know that's why when a black person gets in leadership. Now, I'm not gonna say that's why, but I will say when a black person gets in leadership and they speak candidly, as Martin Luther King did and Malcolm X did, okay, and the other ones, they are unalive. And I've thought about that so many different times, and it's like we are also scared to come together in a sense. And I believe a lot of the division amongst us, comes from that fear of coming together because we all remember what happens when we do. Okay. A couple years ago, Jim had Black History Month with me because I had never seen Rosewood and roots and all that kind of stuff, right? And I was infuriated, emotional, all upset because I'm like, wow, I didn't know, that this had happened. But then it makes, to me, it just all makes sense, why we're so divided and why we don't stick together. Because to me, they killed all the men off, that stood up and said, hey, we ain't got to take this, or, hey, this ain't what God wants for us. They took us all out. And I get emotional about it, like when I'm really talking about it, because it's like, I believe that's why we don't speak candidly as black people. It's like it's absolutely entertaining to see Trump act a damn fool, right? But if uh Obama was to do that, like Miss Alice said, he wouldn't have been president. I used to get mad and say, well, why won't he just? Why won't he just? And my grandma would say, because then they gonna put him out. They gonna impeach him. So SBK. I said what I said, Miss Mimi. It's not that I don't take it seriously. It's because I get in. It bothers me for real, for real. So I rather just not give a damn because for what? They gonna kill us, okay? And if they don't kill us, they gonna, throw our name, applications away because of the spelling of our name, okay? They gonna do everything in the world to keep us from doing anything just because they can. So in a sense, I guess you can say, I feel that we are a bit powerless, and it's not, true, but it's you know, like you said, sis, I'm just focused on living, okay, and raising my kids the best I can. I can't get all up and mad up in these politics because there ain't shit I can do, honestly. And if there was somebody get up there and do it, we gonna end up dead. Okay, so y'all want to know why Vaughn don't take none of this seriously? That's why. Because what is there for you to do exactly? Let's be for real. You can't even get on YouTube. Like when people come up missing or kidnapped, and these YouTubers and journalists go looking for these people or getting down to the nitty gritty of investigations when they go and do research and find out stuff about the food industry, the medicine, industry. These people all end up somewhere dead, okay, because they don't want us to have, first of all, they want us to die because they make money there, and if we know better, we can't do better, okay. So the I'm gonna say this and then I'm done. Okay. The wickedness in high places is just too damn much for me. Okay, it's just too much. So I'm gonna laugh about it, all right, and pray that my household won't be affected. Do I believe a race war is about to kick off? No, because black people ain't got nothing to do with this at all. We ain't did shit worth a damn. They can't make it our fault because we ain't did nothing.
I don't think it's going to be a race war happening. I think they're going to have a war within themselves. And so that's why, in my opinion, black people just need to sit back and sit this one out and just let them handle them. Like I said, they put them in there, so they have to deal with them. And I don't think black people gonna have to do anything because it's one thing about America, about white America. When you start infringing on their
Give
rights
here.
and when you start taking away their money, and when it start affecting them, you can rest assured they're gonna spill out in the streets like they've already been spilling out in the streets. Yeah,
Right.
SBK, they are trying to blame us, but we're not gonna take that blame.
No,
And really,
what we don't have nothing to do with this.
and I don't think we need to get out in the streets with them. I think this is their thing. This is their war, their fight, and they need to handle that. We need to just sit back and just watch them do what they gonna do to each other. And we should be involved in it because we don't have anything to do with this. I don't think it's our fight at all. So
And not to
what we're gonna
mention,
the only thing we should do is make sure we
hmm
register to vote and then try to vote in our own best interest. And that's one thing that I do have a gripe about black people. Enough of us are not voting. Enough of us are not involved in our politics enough. Enough of us are not voting enough. And if you're not voting, then your interests will never be served. They'll never get your community together. You're gonna always live in the ghetto. You're gonna always have second best because black people don't do enough research on how to come up in America. In order to come up in America, you have to have a voting block. And if everybody vote in their own best interest, and I'm not just saying all Democrats are the best people to vote for, you vote for the person that's speaking to you, and you should vote in your best interest for the person that said that they're going to help enrich your life. And you just can't just be voting for anybody all willy-nilly, and you got to do your research on people. And at the end of the day, really, you should put your own candidates up. And a prime example of that, my ex-husband is a city councilman in the city that I live in. And like Vaughn say, all I see on Facebook is people trying to tear that man down and trying to blame him for everything that's going on in our city when he really don't have anything to do with it. He's the only black person that's on the city council, and he's only one voice. So you're gonna need more than one person to try to help, straighten out this mess that we're in. We need more people to volunteer to be on these to be on city council, to be in the senate, to be in the house of representatives. We need to get out there, and that's the work that we need to do. We need to put our own people in place so that we can help our own communities, because that's the way it goes. People need to learn how civics work, and your local elections are way more important than your national elected officials, because when you vote on a local level, that's what affect your life more than it does when you vote for
Yeah,
somebody
that's
in
true.
Washington.
Yeah. My aunt told me that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
actually,
that's because
yeah.
that's where it starts at. And you want better schools, then go vote for the person that's running for school for the superintendent's office. Your local politics. You start there. Start in your local politics, and then build yourself and
Hmm.
build your way up.
And let me say this too while I'm thinking about it. And another thing, okay, their, race is going extinct or whatever. That's their fault, okay? For trying to keep birth control away from us back in the day. See, I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I didn't know that. But I did find out, I want to say maybe last year. It wasn't last year. What was that? Year before it last. That they were doing, pushing the abortion bill because of that, right? Because like y'all said, we were having our kids, but they were doing everything to prevent themselves from having kids. Okay, y'all, hold on. And that's their fault. That because they were so busy trying to make sure, that they didn't have a whole bunch of kids running around, and they were so busy, out here trying to kill off, the babies that was by the mailman so their husband wouldn't find out. Okay, that they trying to make every. It's not our fault. That's on them. Okay, I have four. Okay, my neighbor got one. That's not,
But I,
what's
I, I
not our
guarantee you,
problem.
but I guarantee you, they probably had more abortions than anybody.
Oh no, they did, sis. They only came up with the abortion law to try to keep us from having more, populating the black, race, or other color races. But it was them. They the ones that don't have their babies. Okay, no shade to nobody who's had one. Okay, I'm just talking crazy right now. But it's like all of this stuff is. I feel like everything they did, even going back to slavery, this is their karma. Okay, they live paranoid, thinking we gonna do something to them, and we ain't thinking about them. Okay, every law that they come up with end up backfiring on them. Okay, that's against us, or something that they think gonna trap us. That's just really how I see it. It's like y'all run around here scared black people gonna rise up and put y'all into slavery, and like you just said a minute ago, all we want to do is live our lives and die. It's them that need to be in control of everything. And it seems like everything that they come up with has back not come up with that they came up with to keep us trapped and all this kind of stuff and kill us off is what's happening to them. What
Well, absolutely. All of this, really, really, like you said, all of this is their fault. They're the ones who put all this stuff in place. So it's up to them to straighten it all out. And I wholeheartedly believe it will get straightened out one way or the other. And they're going to be just like crabs in a barrel. They're all just going to eat each other up, because it's at the point now to where, like I said, it's gonna be hitting. It's hitting home, and when they put him in office, they didn't think that it was going to affect them. They thought it was going to affect us, and that was the reason for putting him back in office. And I don't
yep,
understand that logic. Like, how do you think that a criminal, if you put a criminal in office, what do you think is going to happen?
yep.
They're
And
gonna continue doing criminal things. And so I don't know how they expect this outcome to be even better. And second of all, this is his last term in the presidency, so I knew he was gonna show all the way out, show much as his white butt as he could, and that's exactly what he doing. So this is their problem. They need to fix it. And once again, don't go out there marching in the streets or what have you, because that's what he want. Because as soon as we spill
hmm
over in the streets, then that's when martial law will go into play. He's already threatening to do martial law in Washington. He's trying to find trying to figure out and trying to uh, pit us against each other so that the black people can spill out in the streets. And as soon as he find out that it's a group of people marching, then that's when he's gonna try to do martial law on everybody. So he's just trying to bait.
Mm-hmm.
It's the good bait and switch. And if we can be the reason for him to execute martial law, then that's what he's gonna do. Because that's what he's itching to do at this point, in my opinion. But it's been a great show. I'm about ready to wrap this up. Are you about ready to wrap it up?
Yes.
You said that like you're exhausted.
Girl, I look, I don't ever want to talk politics, race, color with y'all. I just want to give a huge disclaimer, y'all. I don't care. Okay? All right? Y'all can be mad at me. Oh, I don't like Vaughn, I don't care. All
Why
right?
you always thinking people talking negative about you?
What? Because that's
You
how I
got
be
your own,
thinking
but you got
when
your own
no.
opinion. Nobody cares about what your
Oh,
opinion. I
okay.
mean, everybody got their own opinion, and you shouldn't take everything personal. This is not personal. This is just us talking. That's all it is, and
Oh
trying
no,
to find
I
some
ain't. Okay,
solutions.
wait, hold on. I ain't gonna lie. Okay, like I'm gonna say this. Okay, I understand. You know,
You mean you say it's exhausted? It isn't fun.
it is. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Yeah, I like I like the gossip talk about politics and laughing at dudes. Other than that, I don't be caring. All right, it's too much. Don't nobody care
Yeah.
about all these little, to me, minuscule issues that ain't nobody else's business. Okay,
Mhm.
and then I'm gonna be honest. Okay,
All right.
when it comes to the whole race thing, I really do not care. And it's not because, I just think, it doesn't exist. I went through a whole thing when I grew up and realized racism was like a still a thing. It's like stuff like that just bothers me, like real talk. It's like I just I can't. It's because it's like, well, what can I feel like I have no control over it, right? So it's like when I understand, SBK's passion behind it, but it's like I'm not finna get that worked up. I can't do it. Okay, unless y'all gonna make me a politician. Now, if y'all make me a politician, y'all vote for me. Okay, I say everything every black person never thought. Okay, I get shot for y'all.
But
All
we
right, but in the meantime,
I'm not worked up at all. I'm having a
oh,
very
okay.
calm voice.
Look, but
Do
in
you
the
feel like I'm
meantime,
worked up?
sis,
Do I
no,
sound like I'm
uh.
worked up at all? I'm not worked up
But
about this.
sis, you always keep your cool, okay? I got you. I understand. I understand you. I understand you. But it's like, no, it's not that I don't take it seriously. It's just a part of life. I can't. I purposely don't pay too much attention to because I feel like the news and honestly, I listen to more, journalists or podcasts when it comes to stuff like this than I do the news because it has me all up in my feelings and I ain't got time for that. Okay. I just gotta be
Well,
and do I
let
love
me
my
just
black
say
folks
this.
though.
Let me just
Okay.
say this. Just like you said, he inspired all those people to come to Christ. Well, you're a young person. You can inspire your people, to have them to go in the correct direction. Whether you want to use Christ with it or you just want to inspire them to go to the voting polls, however you want to inspire them, just make sure, and that's what you can do as your part. You say, "What can I do?" You can do the same thing that he done. Point blank, bottom line. That's all, and that's it.
Got you. I got you, sis. All right.
Okay.
But yeah,
Well,
y'all,
well,
I'm
guys,
good now. I'm good.
thank y'all for coming out today. We just wanted to do like an impromptu live. We didn't know it was going to turn into politics, but we started talking about what's been going on with the current events, and of course, it turned into politics. We still a women empowerment channel, and we're
Yeah.
gonna have a regular scheduled programming next week. Hopefully, that's what we're striving for. Wednesday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. So we invite you guys to come back and do the show with us and have a good time. And thank everybody for coming out. And if you haven't hit the like button, please do that. Share the live out. And if you're not a subscriber, please consider us subscribing to the channel.
And next time we gonna have more laid back conversation, okay, where I control a little bit more. Okay. I don't have time for all this serious stuff. But I love y'all. Okay. I love y'all. I'll talk. We'll see y'all later,
Says the
okay?
one who want to do the impromptu live. But yeah, everybody stay blessed and enjoy the rest of your evening. And thank you for coming out and have a great day.
How you gonna say what Miss Alice said? Okay, bye y'all. Bye. Love y'all.
Yeah, just quote Alice.
Bye y'all.